Okay, then we will get started. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the second session of our four-part virtual series, Demystifying Modern PLM. This event is co-hosted by Share PLM and OpenBOM. I am Heather Long, and I'm from Share PLM, and I'm going to be your host. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today and say that we are very excited that you're here. So thank you. On our agenda for this session, I'm going to do this quick little introduction and then we will get right into the presentation. At the end of the session, we will also have time for a Q&A. So if you would like to ask any questions during the presentation, you can use the Q&A panel, which is in the toolbar at the bottom of the webinar. And then we will answer those questions at the end. So in all of these sessions of this web event, Oleg Shilovitsky, the co-founder of OpenBOM, a leading SaaS digital network-based global platform, and Elena Gutierrez, who is the co-founder of Share PLM, a leading education technology company, are going to focus on sharing their knowledge and experience of developing modern PLM systems. Today, we are also going to hear from Jared Haw, who is a business executive at OpenBOM. So in today's session, we will discuss sales and marketing, evaluating and selecting your cloud PLM system. In this session, we will walk you through how the PLM tool selection process has changed and what you need to know to buy a modern and flexible tool today. So without further ado, I will let Oleg start this great presentation that we prepared for you. So Oleg, whenever you're ready.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Heather, for the introduction. So we are very excited to be in this second session and share our knowledge and experience in PLM sales and in explaining how modern PLM systems could be different from everything that we knew and experienced before. And my experience with sales, and I just want to make a disclaimer, I don't have any formal sales education, and I grew up in Soviet Union, where sales was considered as something that is a trick. Like, of course, you want to be experienced in math and physics because that's a serious stuff, right? So, and if you want to sales, well, that's not what you want to do. So that was my childhood, and then I learned by many mistakes, and also thank you for all people that were around me and shared a lot of knowledge, and I learned from them. So I'm still learning, but a lot of my sales experience started when I was working in the previous PLM company, selling PLM system, and I've learned this PLM system which is sold through the presentations. So you go to the sales meeting and you present slides. So, and everything works on slides, everything works on PowerPoint. It's a great invention, how you can present everything. But then it's something interesting is happening, because after the system is sold, you actually start implementing the system. And this is where you see some differences between what was sold and what is actually going to happen with the customer and with their experience and with features and functions. So when starting OpenBOM and starting to develop online services, we've been obsessed is how to eliminate this difference and how to make the real things shows up and help to customers to experience system at first place. So, and I hope we will be able to share our knowledge and experience that we gather until now with you. And keep in mind, we are still learning, so great questions will help us, and I'm sure we didn't figure everything yet. So, and let's start with questions, and Helena, please.
Yes.
Start with
Hello.
you.
Hola. Hola a todos. My name is Elena Gutierrez and I'm from Share PLM. And this session is particularly interesting for me because I've been part of many PLM system selection and sales processes. and I know how cumbersome and long things tend to get here. So I'm looking forward to hearing from Oleg and his team how they see the sales process changing and what changes when dealing with cloud systems. So my first question for you is how does Modern PLM change the sales process?
Yes, thank you, Helena. It's a great question, and I feel like I a little spoiled the answer in my introduction. But let me go here. So back in 2000, we've been selling PLM in the boardroom. So, and again, nobody ever got fired from buying from IBM. This, by the way, is still true. So don't feel guilty if you buy from IBM. It's a great company, and they making great service and products. But that's how you've been selling system. You know, you gather all your key stakeholders in a company, you schedule a meeting, a workshop with the agenda, and work through the all presentations, and you sell the system. Again, very well organized process, works perfectly well, but things are changing. And these days, with the introduction of a substantial amount of online services, applications, and a new type of experience, people, when they look for a problem, they have what we call the cloud mindset. It means that they are looking how to solve the problem. You know, if I don't have an answer, I go to Google. My kids go to Google to get an answer. So when people are looking for a solution, when they have a problem and they're looking for a solution, they will go online. They will go online to search for what is available online, for the information online, for people that do work in the same space. And they will try to connect those people, and they will be in the short word, they will be looking for URL. So how we can get to this, how we can get to this app, and how we can get to this information. So that this mindset, it doesn't eliminate the need for boardrooms, and it doesn't eliminate the need of presentation and understanding of everything, and we'll talk about this. But this mindset change the behavior and change the process in making it online, real, connected, and involving a lot of people that in this process can give you additional knowledge, additional information, and examples of how the similar problem was solved for them, and they solve it in their companies. So that's the main difference. So the fundamentals are the same. There is still problem in a company, and there is a process that needs to be organized. Although the process of getting to the solution is different in the modern PLM system.
Right, understand. Very interesting. Yeah. So my next question is how different is the software evaluation process?
Yeah, the product evaluation is an interesting part, because remember, the monolithic on-premise system required installation, required configuration, and all together that was a complex process that required a lot of time. So people and companies were not coming into this immediately because it was impossible to do. You're not going to install like 20 different servers just to try things out. So it's different now online. So I wanted to introduce Jared Ho, which is a business executive, and he touches a lot of aspects of touching many of our prospects that come into OpenBOM. And he will share our experience about how customers, potential prospects and potential customers are finding OpenBOM, and what experience is to work with these companies. So Jared, please take it over.
Thank you, Oleg. Thank you. Yeah. So first, it's very important for us to know that the buyer persona and the buyers in general are constantly changing. The only constant in life is change, and this starts with the buyers. And as the buyers change, the modern PLM systems and any product in general has to evolve with them as well. So when someone first starts off on their journey, they just don't get on the phone call. They go to Google now and they have to figure out, or they'll type in what their actual problem is. And these changes will go through the entire sales process, from engagement to lead nurturing, and to when they actually will be purchasing a system. So the first part of the product evaluation is figure out what their problem really is. Is it just one of their own problems, one of their own inefficiencies that they have to improve on, or is it company-wide, or is it within their team? And then who are the different stakeholders as well that have to be involved in the decision to maybe change to a different system, or how are they going to improve the overall problem that they have. And when you have a product evaluation, you also have to look at really a few different things. The most important thing is the actual products. Now there's really no reason to listen to sales and marketing blabber on about the product when you could just type in the URL and just try it yourself. Some other great evaluations are just figuring out what the showstoppers are. Let's say if you need something that the software, this product to have, and it doesn't have it, you have to identify these showstoppers really as soon as possible. A very important thing for the evaluation process we've seen now is the supports. Support is extremely important. People want answers now. They're not really willing to wait. So if there's a problem with the software, they can't figure something out, they want to know that they could get on the phone with someone, or they maybe in-app messaging or something like this, and they have to be very quick responses, and they also have to be relatable to the product. So maybe it's showing you a YouTube video about how to proceed, or a link to a blog or to an article. Other processes of the evaluation will be, what is the current sales model of the business? We believe in transparency. We don't believe that you should be hiding anything, and this is how the trends are going to be going. People don't want to be talking to a salesperson anymore. It's kind of troublesome to do this nowadays. So everything should be online, and this is a lot of the things that we see with people. They want to try it and they want to know how much it costs. Very, very simple. And then the next step is really just to evaluate the value and the price of the product. They could do this now all on their own. They don't have to be in one of those fancy meeting rooms. They could just have an internal discussion with their team after they've tried the product out with a free trial, contact the support a few times to make sure that they fully understand it. And then when you're looking at this value, what's the price of the value? And when you're buying a piece of software, it's, you want to maximize the value that you're going to be getting. And that's really what the whole evaluation process is about nowadays.
Yeah, I've seen that trend too, and I think that the trial is very important in the selection process. But my question is, how does the selection process go in large company environments? Are capability mapping and architectural reviews also part of the modern PLM selection process, or how does that work?
I will take this question, Helena. I think it's a great one, because there is a certain differentiation in the way smaller and medium-sized companies operate comparing to large ones. So first of all, I think there is some commonality also between how people are discovering problems. And I can share that the largest OpenBOM customer, which is the Fortune 500 company, actually, surprisingly enough, discovered OpenBOM through Google. So it was a person in this company who was desperate to solve a problem because he was stuck with Excel and he was using Excel. He was forced to use Excel for 5-6 hours every week to make changes and massage those Excels and share it with people. So he was looking for a solution. So, and then the process was discovery. He found the solution. He was able to start using the product immediately. He was able to start use product immediately, came with questions, then expanded, shared with some other people in his organization. And this is how they become an OpenBOM customer. So although understand and acknowledge that IT and other organizations in the large companies might have some impact on the process. And we're getting those questions specifically from IT, and we're getting those questions specifically from security people asking different aspects of OpenBOM architecture and technologies and data management. But the fundamentals, it's very fascinating to see how the fundamentals are changing. Because even in the large company, people are making explorations about knowledge and information exactly in the same way. So it's not about sales process, it's about people. So people are looking for knowledge and for experience in different places where they've been looking it before. And that's why, even though the enterprise sales process will be the same for them, and it will require involvement of all stakeholders, they will say, hey, I just found this and this. So that will be happening. So you will not be able to eliminate it. And this is the place where a change will be coming from.
Interesting. In your experience, do many of your customers come from that pilot side, like doing a pilot and seeing how things work and how?
I think 100% of OpenBOM customers, you know what, not 100. It's like a majority of OpenBOM customers came through this exploration process. But there is another one, which is also very interesting because it's social. So we know people that were using OpenBOM, and the life is longer than the company and projects, and people are, even in our short lifetime in OpenBOM, people were moving between different companies. So we have examples of people that were leaving one company, coming to the next company, first thing they did is purchased OpenBOM subscription. So there is a social element, has a huge impact on the way how people operate. And it's like not only about OpenBOM. We know that people taking decisions based on their experience and based on what they did. So, one of the lessons, you think not only about your customers, but you think about your previous customers, because that's something that stays online, stays on Google. So we are very much focused on how to share the story and experience online with everyone, and that's part of our sales process.
Excellent. Yeah, I think the next question we have is also about the trial, the product trial, and we have discussed a bit about that, but maybe you have some more insights. What's the role of the product trial? Is it just the beginning, or?
Yeah, product trial is a natural extension or natural part of the evaluation process. So the evaluation process is, like Jared explained, it's a little bit bigger. So you understand the problem, you understand possible solution, but product trial, it's something that we provide online for everyone. So we learned that to give software to everyone is something that we can because of technology and because of the architecture of OpenBOM platform. And Chris was talking about this architectural technological aspects in our last webinar. So we can. So everyone can register on OpenBOM. It doesn't require to install another set of servers. It doesn't have impact on our business and operation. But what is important from trial is first to understand problem and possible solutions first. So what we encourage people during the trial is to think about what they want to achieve in a little bit wider, like why and how way, rather than just, okay, look, I want to, create a spreadsheet. I want to copy these values from this spreadsheet to another system. That would be very narrow because the problem is usually bigger. And we encourage, during this trial, we encourage companies to understand their problem. And here is an interesting aspect of this understanding. It's very hard to do in an abstract way. So if you think about this, or even if you go with slides in the company, it will be very hard to do until you actually put some data in the system, until you actually start experience the product, and until you connect your experience with what happens in your company with your data and your process. So what we discourage people is to start comparing functions and buttons. And I put the slide here, like understand functions is important, of course, but every system has 20,000 buttons and functions and features, not necessarily. By comparing all these buttons, you will understand what is actually the best system for you. So what is important to understand is the process that you would like to have in your company and data that will be flowing into this process. So we found our training experience combined with the trial to be super efficient. And again, this is also part of our great partnership with Share PLM, the training resources and the training courses. When company can use this process and they can see the examples and practice it at the same time with their data, that's what makes a difference in the trial. So they can not only see it and read about this, they also can analyze their own data, see their own data in the system, and they will be coming with this aha moment of, now we understand what we need. So we encourage people through the trial to come to understanding of their processes. And you know, sometimes they can decide like we are not ready for OpenBOM, or we just look at something else. But again, this is the part of the process which eventually leads to happier customers and better results at the end. Because like we're in the business of making companies efficient and customers happy. And this trial is a part of this, because this trial helps us to set expectations in the most efficient way. And you know, wrong set of expectation. Remember the first slide? Nice slides, open this up. Oh my God. So that's the wrong set of expectations. So you go through the trial, you actually experience the product. When you purchase the solution, when you purchase the subscription, you already know what you have. And that's a difference.
So in your opinion, the software does help to figure out the problem and the process, right?
Absolutely. Software is the best sales instrument that we have. So actually people are using software to understand what they need. As a result of this, they said, aha, that's what I need. So that's absolutely important. And hands-on experience is absolutely important for companies in order to understand if this is the solution that they really need and this is the solution that they would like to have. Again, nothing wrong about all the fashion enterprise sales process. And if you want to go to baseball game to understand how product works, it's fine as well. But what we sure is that you would like to have a hands-on product experience in order to understand what you actually need.
I have the same experience, Oleg, that starting with the software helps quite a lot to understand the problem and also to eat the elephant and start defining the things that you need in order to solve the problem. So same experience from us.
And if I may add one thing, we are very customer centric, and 75% of users do not want to start off the sales journey by talking to someone. 75% of these people, they'd rather test the product out than talk to a sales representative. They want to figure out the problem and they want to figure out the solution by themselves. So that's why the free trial plays such an important role. And that's why Modern PLM, we've had to adapt ourselves to the modern buyer. And the best way to do this is by giving them what they want. If 75% of them want a free trial, then the free trial is yours.
Interesting. Yeah, the next question, I think we touched on that, but I also had something about the social proof, the role in the selection process. What's your experience there?
Thank you. The social proof, I've learned about this term, and I've learned about this. This is the part of our modern online environment. So we are all online, we are all connected. So we use different systems and we use different tools to connect and get our information. So to learn about real people that are using product and to see a real experience of the product. That's something that we put as a fundamental element of our sales process, sales and marketing process. It all starts from the social media, and it all starts from online resources. So you can see online resources about how OpenBOM works and how we solve different problems. So those resources are connecting to the beginning of the discovery process. So when you go online, you will find the real examples, real product demos, and real information about how problems can be solved. And then we are sharing the experience of our customers online in the variety of forms. So the one form is customer stories. So customer stories helps, first, people love stories. Like, the story is the best way to understand anything. So, and we are writing stories about our customers and the problems that they had and the way OpenBOM helped them to solve this problem in a variety of forms. So this information is available on our website, and we share links to the stories everywhere. So what it helps to people is kind of compare, like, I have a similar problem. So, and I've seen that somebody has a similar problem, or I'm developing a similar product. So I'm developing agricultural equipment, I'm developing medical device, developing manufacturing some tools and equipment. So that's something that helps you to connect and find a relevant story, and then read about problems and see comparison how people using the same tool. So stories is extremely powerful in that sense. And another place where we found very useful for our customers to be is to provide an online review. And again, you're familiar with this, we're familiar with this space online. Like, we buy products and we leave in reviews of the product on Amazon and at Google and other place. So why PLM software should be different? So we using services and G2 Crowd is one of the systems that we are allowing to our users and customers to leave a review about what they do. So that's the place which is always also completely open and transparent. We don't have any impact and influence on this system, and anyone who is using OpenBOM can get to the system and leave a review and share the experience about how they use OpenBOM. So that's all together. Create a connected environment, not only connected environment for the OpenBOM product, but also connected environment in the ecosystem and the network of people that using OpenBOM, and also people that are looking for solution. They can connect to this place, and they can find what they need, and in many ways they also can contact people directly, and they can get information about what they use and how they use the product. So we found this element of social proof is extremely important to have an efficient process, because that helps in the most easy way to potential prospects to find what they can do with OpenBOM.
Interesting. My last question is related to what you just said. What is the connection between the sales and the product development?
Well, that's a great question, because I also feel this question will lead us towards the next webinar topic, is the product development that we have and how we do it. But sales and products are extremely connected in OpenBOM because of the same fundamental. The system is online, is available all the time, and it has the trials, and everyone can get on the system to experiment and find how does it solve their problems. And comparing to what we had before in the industry 20 years ago, is that the system was on-premise, installed, configured, and used by a company. And then one day, new releases happening. And some products have released once a year, some products have released 1 in 2 years. And the reason for this is not because company cannot develop. It's just because a release itself is the major exercise, it's a major effort. And then bringing this new product and installing it Like the customer will tell you, we don't want your new releases. We just spent 5 months implementing, or 1 year implementing. Why do you need us again to implement those systems? It's a past behavior. So the new one is that the product is online, and we will talk in the next webinar how OpenBOM is developing product, and we release product every month, and we release some features even more frequently. So that is where it's connected to sales process, is that discovery is happening in parallel. So when the prospects are coming and they are in the sales process, they are coming online and looking for OpenBOM, and they experience the product, they can find something that we do not do, or they can find something that we do not do very efficient, or that there are ideas for new features are coming from prospects and customers. So when it's happening, what we do is that we have a way to bring new features, make new fixes, and change the current behavior of the system. So that's the very interconnected process. So it can happen like we hear about the required feature, and we can say, yes, great, that's what we just doing it right now, and it will be available next month. It helps in sales process. But it also gives feedback from a prospect to impact what we do as well. So the processes are interconnected and helps a lot to sales process, because look, something is missing, we can do it. So that's how these two processes are interconnected, because we can impact sales process from the product development side.
Right. Excellent. I've learned a lot today.
Yes, I think we are coming to questions and answers from the online attendees. And do we have questions so far?
Yes, we have a couple questions, and anyone else that wants to ask something or thinks of something while we're talking about these, just leave it in the Q&A section at the bottom of the webinar. So the first question is, how do you approach internally, so within your company, the many requests that you receive from customers to implement features within your application?
Well, that's a great question. So we, as a company, we also use an online services to manage our processes, and our sales and support and product development are processes that we are managing using online SaaS applications. So we use Zendesk, we use Jira, we use other tools that helps us to organize this process and to manage information. So when customers are getting in the evaluation, they can connect to us directly. So one element of this is a direct connection through the application. Jared was mentioning it a little bit in his answer. But in OpenBOM, you have an online system that allows you to submit requests to support. And those requests combined together with online chat, which is available on OpenBOM website, allows to everyone to connect directly. And then the information is captured. The information is captured about requests, questions, or anything else, and then goes to the right people in our organization, and those people will be connected to you immediately, and that will be the process that connects you. In fact, our support pre-sales and our support for the customers is not very much different in the sense of how information flow.
Okay, ready for the second question?
Sure, of course.
Okay, so there are many PLM software packages that solve the challenges of companies using Excel documents. What are the main points you share with them that make them choose your product instead?
Well, I think it takes us to the question of differentiation. I think the problem is well known, and we are happy to have great competitors in this space and other companies that do it. And I think the right way to answer to this question for a specific customer or prospect is just to do a trial. So you will do a trial and you will experience OpenBOM, and you will see what OpenBOM can do, and that will help to understand, because the key element is not what is the best software. The key element is what is the right software for you. So that's the way you should answer on this question. So do not try to find the best, because the best could not be a good thing for you. It's not an absolute, because the process and what you actually have in your company can be very specific and not the same as somebody else. So we acknowledge that all manufacturing companies are different, although they might look the same. And that's just the way you do it. You just find the right software for you.
Okay. Have you found a big discrepancy that people like or don't like the way the user interface is presented? Or do you not care much as long as it functions as they expect?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I would say it's one of my favorite. So the thing is that we one of elements of our vision is that we would like to simplify things. So what we've learned is that it's very easy to make a complex thing, because you just do it, eventually will become a complex thing. It's like, it's very hard to do something simple. It requires many iterations. It requires many improvements and conversations and iteration with customers. So we do care a lot about user experience, because in the modern applications, user experience plays a key role. It's like in the past, you've been using complex enterprise software applications, and when you complain that the application is not useful, or you don't know how it's very hard, people said you here it's a business, so you come and play games. So that's a hard problem. You should learn it. So, and then everyone were forced to use the same application. Like, we believe that the new trend that started quite some time ago, probably about 10-15 years ago, that the user experience is important. And we going and see a new generation of people that are growing for the last 10-15 years. They see things differently, so that's why the user experience is important. So how we do it is that we iterate fast. So that's the answer, how to make improvement in the user experience, because you will never be able to guess how users will screw up your system. So that's will happen. Like if you prepare it, if you believe that you will do it for the first time, it's wrong. It will not happen. So you will do it once, and you will improve, and you will learn from your customers, and they will do something wrong, and you will improve it again. So the key element of improvements that we do is the speed and giving this feedback loop with customers that can provide us feedback about user experience, about user interface, and we do care, and we improving. So, and the easiest way to spot it is actually what I recommend you to do. We have a huge collection of videos on the YouTube channel. So go back, go 3-4 years ago on our YouTube channel. Those videos are still there. So, and you will see how OpenBOM user experience was improving for the last for this time. And that's probably the easiest way to discover actually what did we do and how it's improved.
Okay, so you may cover this next week, but if you can briefly talk about how often do you release versions or updates?
Sure. OpenBOM goes in the release every month, from 3 to 5 weeks. And if we need to do it more often, we do. Like, fixes can come at any moment of time that is needed. But we will cover this more in the next session next week.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions? That's all oh, here we go. I missed signing up for session 1. Any chance of having access to that first recording, or even when I could not register to attend it?
The recording is available. Yes, the recording is available on our blog on openbom.com blogs. You will find the session and you will find the recording of the webinar with questions. And if you have other questions, please contact us directly to us, Share PLM, and we would be happy to connect with you and answer.
Yes. Also, we are going to send that out in an email to the full list of people. So they should receive that today. Okay, let's see. That's all the questions so far.
Okay, all right. So thank you very much for questions, and thank you very much, Helena, for helping us to navigate through all these questions with the additional comments. And we're very excited about this conversation, and we hope it was useful and beneficial for everyone. So thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Heather.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. And
Bye.
our
Thanks,
next
Heather.
session will be on Tuesday at the same time.
See you there.
Okay. Thank you very much. See you there. Okay, bye-bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.